Bryan Fuller and Nick Meyer, and they are doing the CBS All Access new Star Trek show. You did do a guest stint on Enterprise as a different character.
Yeah.
Would you be open, if asked, of playing a different role on Star Trek in this new incarnation?
You know, absolutely. If the money's right. No, I mean, I have great respect for those guys. Bryan Fuller's done some great TV. Nick Meyer is a master. I've loved many of his films, and so yeah. I mean, if it's something interesting, you know, it really is always about the role, and you know, there's three things. It's the role, who you're going to work with, and the money, and it always comes down to that. You know.
Do you ever throw in the fourth one of location? Some people.
Well, listen. If
we're going to Bora Bora.
I'll be there. I'll be there. I know. I did a movie years ago. It was a TV movie introducing Dorothy Dandridge. I did for HBO with Halle Berry. Yeah, and Martha Coolidge directed. Wonderful director. She was very good to me for a long time. And Klaus Maria Brandauer was in the movie. He played Otto Preminger. And I had, you know, he's a hero of mine. I mean, Klaus is one of the great actors of all time. Mephisto, brilliant. Colonel Riedel, great films. And but he told me a story about he was asked to be in Sean Connery's
Never Say Never Again.
Right, he was the villain in that. And he said they called him. They said, "Klaus, we want you to play the villain in this James Bond movie." He says, "James Bond? I'm not going to be in a James Bond movie. I'm a serious actor. I'm playing a Hamlet on stage right now in Germany. I'm not going to be in a James Bond movie." And he says, phone rang. On the other end is Sean Connery. He says, "Listen, Klaus, we're going to go down to Jamaica. We're going to have a lot of fun." He said, "Okay, Sean." And he's in the movie.
And that movie, to this day, not the best Bond movie, but it's the reason why someday I want to be rich enough to live in a giant yacht.
Yeah.
Because that's what I remember most about that movie is Klaus Maria Brandauer's giant boat.
Yeah, absolutely.
And his weird dance studio disco thing he had going on in there, too.
I know.
But we're far afield now.
Oh, well, you know, I can bring it back to this, though. You know, people ask me, what's on your plate now? What do you want to do next? And I'm thinking, they offered Daniel Craig, I think, $100 million to come back as James Bond, and he passed. And I would be willing to do it for half of that.
You know, I think that's a bargain.
So I am available if the broccolis are listening.
Now, you also, though, I know from you know past stuff that the last Star Trek movie, they did, spoiler, kill off Data and brought in B9. However,
Before. B9 was Lost in Space, I think, or something
wasn't
like that.
it
Yeah,
B9?
before.
Before?
It was B9. We rewrote it because
Not kidding.
somebody had already used it. Yeah.
Well, wow. Okay. Well, I'm sorry.
No.
Now, I remember reading that part of your concern about continuing with Data was that just the fact of it's if you're playing somebody who doesn't age. I mean, would you want to ever reprise Data through somehow, like whether it's
plastic surgery?
No, like the CG, anything, mocap or
that's the only way I could do it. A voice certainly.
Yeah.
I mean, if they did an animated version, I'd be happy to do the voice.
Yeah.
But they could CGI it. I mean. Patrick and Ian in X-Men were
Jeff
turned
Bridges
into,
and
Jeff Bridges,
Tron.
exactly. So, if the circumstances were right, again,
right,
it would break whatever studio wanted to do it to have me come back and put that makeup on again. But it could be done.
Now, what if, because we did see them reboot the original Trek cast for the movies, if they did reboot Star Trek Next Gen, which probably inevitably someday they will do, because that's what Hollywood does, would you be okay with seeing someone else play Data at some point in time, or do you like that's my boy?
You know what? I mean, there's a history of a lot of different actors played Hamlet.
Yeah.
A lot of play. It's I'm from the theater,
right.
So people doing classics and new actors coming in. If it ever happens, I'd love to see Tilda Swinton play Data.
Holy
I think
crap,
she would
that would be amazing.
Yeah, wouldn't she be good?
I would love that, actually. Yeah, she's that's an insane, awesome choice.
Wouldn't it be?
Yeah, that's really crazy. I love that. And also, do you think that Star Trek is, which medium do you think it's better served by? Television, where you're allowed long-form storytelling, or the movies where perhaps a broader audience might discover it, but you do by that, you have to tweak the kind of sci-fi that it's about. Like,
Yeah.
You know, a lot of Trekkies, I think they're excited about the Fuller series because it's you can go back into more cerebral story. Which medium do you prefer Star Trek to be in?
You know what? I personally don't care, but I do think it has worked best in television.
Yeah.
Why? I don't know. I haven't really analyzed it, but I do think it has to do with their trying to reach a broader audience in the features. So it becomes not quite Star Trek. It becomes Star Trek Plus, and I'm not sure that the hardcore fans need the plus.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, you know, the films that they're making now, I've only seen the first one. And I thought it was really enjoyable, and I thought everybody did a great job. So, you know, whatever. It's entertainment.
Right.
Finally,
right.
you know.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Do you have any actual anything to plug beyond?
I do.
Plug us. Plug
yeah,
away.
Hi. Join me, won't you, on Friday nights on Cinemax for Outcast, Robert Kirkman's new show. He designed and came from one of his comic books. Really scary, spooky show. Friday nights at 10 o'clock in the U.S. And it's all over the world. It's in every market of the world right now, and it's a really cool show.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming by today.
Delighted, Jim.
It's a big treat for a geek like me to meet you.
I can only imagine. It just must be unbelievable.
Well, I'm just glad the money was right.
Yeah, well, that was. Why do you think I'm here?
And the location.
Please, yeah.
We could have taken
exactly.
to Jamaica, but you're in Culver City. I mean, why would you pass that up?
Is that where we are?
We are. We are in Culver City, California. So thank you for watching. For all things movies, keep it here on IGN.